Alright, so I was thinking about what we should do if we ever find an M-class planet. An M-class planet, by the way, is a habitable planet with life on it. And I was thinking about what to do with a proto-M-class planet where there's theoretically possible sustaining life, but as far as we can tell, there is no life at the current time, which is a little confusing because of how space works. Uh, any M-class planets would be more than a light year away. So all of the information we have on the planet would be outdated about whether or not it had or has life. Uh, but if we found a planet that we don't think has life and won't have life by the time we could send a sublight, like slower than the speed of light ship there, then a smart thing to do, in my opinion, would be to make the ship that we send there not full of people or supplies or anything, but with water. Photoplankton, zooplankton, and other microscopic organisms in the water. And have both the inside and outside of the hull marked up with effectively a bigger version of the Voyager map. The Voyager map was a picture of our solar system with an arrow pointing at the third planet saying us. Because if by the time that ship reaches the planet there is life, they'll be able to read the map on the outside. And if there isn't life, then the water filled with zooplankton will be able to, I guess, kickstart the process of creating life on that planet. There would be problems with compatibility across planets and whatever evolutionary changes they go through on the way there. But that's something that I would put on the inside hull. In the event that there is life on that planet by the time the ship gets there, the aliens would hopefully be able to figure out our writing. I would want them to put it in a bunch of different languages, but ensure that it's always the same message, word for word, spaced out, so that they could try and work out what it is and have an alphabet or an abbreviated alphabet, depending on what languages are used, because some of them have huge alphabets. To help with deciphering. And what it would explain is like, hey, if there is life on this planet, then this is to act as a map and an idea of what some of the life on our planet is like. If it is not, then this was a series of plant-based subatomic life, not subatomic, microorganisms rather, that would hopefully spread and evolve, both on the journey to this planet and after landing on this planet if there is no life. And this message would not just be for any aliens that are already there, but hopefully more complex life would evolve from the photoplankton and whatever else we store in the water. And this would effectively be a way of creating our own alien species, and seeing how they evolve compared to us on what would, in theory, be a similar planet. Because that's kind of one of the problems with M-class theory. The only life we know of is on Earth. So we assume that life must be like life on Earth. So that's the planets that we're looking for, is like Earth-like conditions. But it won't necessarily need Earth-like conditions. Just like there's theoretically deep sea life on one of the moons of Jupiter. I think it's Io, because Io is dense enough to keep water on it. Like, it has enough gravity. And it's cold enough that the top several feet of it will be frozen. I think it was 2.5 meters will be frozen. But the moon itself is big enough that there's going to be theoretically water underneath that 2.5 meters. And in theory, there could be life very similar to what we see in our Arctic depths. But we have no way of checking that because we have trouble getting to the moon still, let alone Jupiter or Jupiter's moons. Yeah, there's a space rant. Thanks for listening.